I swear.
Who's here?
Someone's here?
Wait, is David Bowie here?
Oh, no, that's the music. We have a guest. Myles L. Berman, ladies and gentlemen.
Myles!
The Top Gun DUI defense attorney. Smooth
I need to be alone.
Silk.
I need to be alone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Myles is
It's
here.
Carrie Keegan,
I'm going to get a hug meeting.
filling in for Heidi.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
If you're
So
pulled,
I'm really
to the side of the road.
Impaired.
Myles.
Now it all fits.
And Myles L. Berman is going to take care of me.
Hey, Myles.
That's not slurred
What's up,
speech.
sugar daddy?
That's your normal speech pattern.
Yeah.
I
It
do,
is.
Myles.
Myles, good-looking guy, right?
Listen, you guys can just F right off. Because this guy's a celebrity.
Myles L. Berman, yes, he is. A celebrity. I mean, as far as being a part of the Frosty Heidi Frank show for so long. And he's been gracious enough to join us again for one of our drinking shows.
Myles.
Because, Myles.
You haven't aged in like 10 years. I've known you 10 years ago. For reasons.
You've known him for 20 years,
Yes.
Frosty.
For reasons we won't
For
discuss
reasons
on the
we've
show.
discovered today.
But, Myles,
Because you're an alcoholic, Frosty.
this man, this is amazing. You're like a warlock. You never age.
This is fantastic. I don't have to say a thing.
You don't.
Just
You
sit
really
here.
don't.
This
You
is
really
great.
Listen, we're going to tell everyone how awesome you are.
Well, what's so awesome about Myles is that he posts on his Twitter all the DUI checkpoints.
Yes.
And we
Fridays.
post that stuff. But every
Yeah,
Friday and
thank
Saturday,
you.
it's a public knowledge thing. They
Right.
post it on their website. So it's something that they have to do is post where they're going to be having a checkpoint. That's something that's required.
Looking at you, Frank, your beard sounds a little slurry, but you're okay.
Look at this beard, man. I know you haven't seen me since I grew this thing out. I mean, my God, I've been living in the mountains.
Checkpoints.
my grizzly bear.
Yeah, checkpoints. Can I catch up with you guys? No, I'm kidding. The CHP is still outside.
Yeah.
Wait, right here? They found us?
She's
Yeah.
like, what?
It's because we have the cops here, man. You guys need to stop
They are
that.
the cops. They are the cops.
Yes, checkpoints are public knowledge. They're supposed to post them, but a lot of times they just don't post the locations. And they call it patrols. But yes, they're public knowledge, and we post known checkpoints, meaning where there are specific locations and the times.
Now, as a DUI defense attorney, I mean, maybe people see a negative connotation on that to go, where you're defending these guys.
I don't know any people who think of that
I mean,
negatively,
meaning
especially our clients.
especially the clients. The clients love you. But it's not always like the case. Like Frosty was mentioning earlier to the CHP, saying, if I went out to lunch and I had a beer, and then you pull me over, and I'm between the 0.5 and 0.79, and you want to make a decision relative to you and what you think is wrong with me, then you could actually give me a ticket for driving under the influence, and then I call Myles L. Berman, and then we work this thing out, because it's not always the case where you are the extreme case of drunk driving. So that's how you are helping people, right?
Well, that's one of the ways. I mean, somebody getting arrested for DUI is very traumatic, even for a first offender, which most of our clients have never been arrested before. And the experience that you go through is traumatic. Plus, the potential penalties can be devastating. I mean, you can lose your job, your livelihood, your freedom, your reputation. Right. And it's getting tougher as more time goes by. So, for example, in L.A. County, just one of 4 or 5 in the state, that if you're convicted of DUI on a first offense, you have to put an ignition interlock device in your car for 5 months.
When did that start?
That's been a pilot program. Oh my God, it's been quite a while, 7, 8 years maybe, could be longer. It's been around for quite a while, but it's going to go statewide. So just imagine if you're a mom and you get pulled over and convicted of DUI, and you got a carpool going. It's very life-altering, life-changing. And the same token, if you're in sales and you use your own car for sales,
real estate agent, you're driving clients around. You're like, hold on a second.
Yeah. And we're just now talking about the ignition interlock device. We didn't mention about increase of insurance, potential jail, all those other problems that come along with a DUI. But specifically, when you're talking about an 05 to an 07 9999999. Well, maybe you didn't say that many nines,
Yeah,
but
that's why you're the lawyer and I'm not.
You have in the past. Today in this state, the state of mind, 5 or 6 nines are too many.
5 or 6 nines are way too many. Frosty's right now is at a .20.
Yep.
He was a 1. Oh my goodness, you were a 1.4 like a half hour ago.
Yeah.
1.4,
Yeah.
But that's the thing, Myles, because Frosty was drinking. He's absorbing more alcohol than he had consumed. So by the time he gets pulled over and by the time, he gets to the actual breathalyzer. So when he gets pulled over, should he take the breathalyzer test or should he wait to go down to the station to get the breathalyzer?
Did you want to say something, Frosty?
Or trust Myles to get me out of it.
Well, here's the thing. If you get arrested for DUI, you have a choice between a breath or a blood, generally, DUI alcohol. And if you don't take the test, the penalties can be greater if you're convicted in court, as well as the DMV. The penalties are greater regarding a license suspension. But at the same time, if you don't take a test, there's less evidence to convict in court. On the other hand, most of our clients take a breath or a blood test, and we're still successful at getting DUI charges dismissed or reduced. So, and you have a right to refuse, but then if you refuse, they can get a warrant and get a forced blood draw. So
now, if you refuse everything, they can take your license from the DMV, right? What is the deal where it's like if you refuse?
Only as to the driver's license.
Only the driver's license.
Right. The one thing, though, I would recommend that if somebody's in a situation and they get pulled over for DUI and if they're arrested, they call 888-4-TOP-GUN as soon as they get out.
Hell yeah. Amanda has a question for you, Myles. Let's go to the phones. You got your headphones on. Hey, hello, Amanda.
Hi.
You got a question for Myles L. Berman?
I do. Actually, I know somebody that had a DUI and they didn't get a blood test, but they also didn't go to court. How much worse do the penalties get when you don't go to court?
Well, there's a warrant out, I'm sure. So,
well, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think the best thing is to have your friend call 888-4-TOP-GUN to discuss it because,
right.
I don't know enough about the situation, but it should be dealt with. Her license is probably suspended. If she's still driving, she'll get pulled over for running, or maybe get stopped for running a stop sign, and then she's going to go to jail because of the warrant that's out and driving while her license or his license is suspended.
Amanda, are we talking about a friend of yours or actually you?
No, not me. I'm a professional driver. I don't have a DUI.
All right, and because you don't and because you're such a great person looking out for your friend, I'm going to give you that Disneyland 4-pack.
No way!
Yes, 4-pack, 1 day, 1 park. Be among the first to experience the breathtaking thrills and unforgettable music of the new Guardians of the Galaxy mission Breakout in Disney California Adventure Park. And listen for your next shot to win these tickets at 11 a.m. with Marcy. So congratulations, Amanda.
Thank you guys so much. I love you guys.
Thank you, sweetheart. Tell all your friends. All right, we got another call from Barbara with a question for Myles L. Berman, the Top Gun DUI defense attorney in studio with us. Hello, Barbara.
Hello.
What's your question for Myles?
Okay, my question is, my daughter was with her friend yesterday that has that breathalyzer thing and just had it installed. And they're driving along the freeway, and it goes off because she has to blow it when she's driving every 15 minutes. And she goes into a panic, and she's reaching for this to blow into it because if she doesn't, right away she'll, I don't know what happens, but something does happen. And is it safe to be, them driving on the freeway and all of a sudden have to blow into it like that?
Yeah, that's one of the problems with the ignition interlock device, that sometimes they request you to blow into it. At times it's very difficult. Other times they sometimes malfunction. So, the best thing to do is actually try and avoid a DUI conviction so you don't have to install the ignition interlock device.
Uh-huh. But, but this is happening. I've heard it firsthand, and I'm thinking, how safe is it? Is that,
Is it like a breathalyzer, the interlock device that you have to blow into to get your car to start? Is it like the breathalyzer? Because we've been taking breathalyzers all morning long with the CHP. But you have to go... You got to blow for
obviously
15
lying because we're
seconds.
totally not wasted.
From what I hear...
Or could I fart into it?
From what I hear, they're is difficult to blow into as a regular breath test machine. But I need to segue into something else, if I could, because
after farting into the breath machine, okay.
I don't know if these are like treats or if they're munchies.
Oh, they're munchies.
Well, then in that case,
actually, these are potatoes from Ireland.
From Ireland,
cheese
yes.
And onion.
I imported these for our drinking show from Ireland. Potatoes, potatoes.
When I was talking about munchies, I was trying to segue into like DUI marijuana.
Oh yes, the marijuana.
I know you're usually ahead of me, Frank.
I'm so high right now, though. The thing is, I was asking the officers too about as far as pulling people over, and a recent study came out that mushrooms are like the least dangerous. But how do you deal with like that kind of deal with marijuana?
Well, as with any drug, it's just legal or otherwise. It's a matter of how much you have in your system. But what's happening now is that because of marijuana being legal, there's a lot more DUI marijuana arrests.
But how do they do that? I mean, is the test the same as DUI? Like, let's walk heel to toe. Let's throw some Cheetos in front of you. If you want them, you're high.
They basically do the same thing. There's a little more eye exams. Sometimes they have a drug recognition expert. But, and I've seen breath tests on DUI marijuana cases and drug cases. And also... there's
a drug recognition expert, so they have like everyone's mother working down at the station.
Yeah,
a drug recognition expert. I mean, so they're at the station or are they in the car?
Usually,
this is an alien movie.
Usually, this has been going on for 20 plus years.
It just sounds to me like as far as like discovering that someone's on marijuana or anything else that they might be on.
Do you really have to guess?
It's a little bit out there as far as no. If you were on something, I'm like, okay, you might be on something, but I don't know what it is.
You know what they should do? They
say, be awesome.
"Are you hungry?"
Yeah, exactly.
That should be.
Want some potatoes? Give me potatoes.
That should be a test.
It's like, okay, you're high.
They test the eyes, the blood pressure. It's a little bit different in addition to the field sobriety test
that
you're
happens
talking
down
about.
At the station, right?
Yes, or sometimes they call it DRE on the scene, or the arresting officer is also a DRE, or the investigating officer. But then it's usually a blood test and sometimes a urine test in the event that
so the
blood
one
may not
case
be
they're
available.
pregnant.
The one piece of
or they don't like needles.
The one piece of advice you could give to someone who gets pulled over is what?
Well, what I want to talk about just for a second is, the one piece of advice for DUI marijuana is don't think your marijuana card is going to stop you from being arrested for DUI. That's what I was getting to. Everybody has a medical marijuana card. When they get pulled over for DUI marijuana, sometimes the officers may even get high when they open the window.
It's legal. No.
They think it's somehow a defense, but it's not. So,
prescription drugs of any kind says don't operate heavy machinery. So as far as like saying it's legal to have my marijuana card is not a defense. It's like, okay, you're basically screwing yourself.
I mean, just because you have the card, it doesn't. You still can't. And you're right, Frank. Just like prescription drugs, and what we're seeing a lot now is everybody's taking prescription drugs, and even somebody else's not everybody, but a lot.
Right.
Somebody else's prescription drugs. And we're seeing a lot of people who are getting pulled over, and also the DMV will now want to re-examine them, which makes it even worse, which is a whole nother matter and a whole nother process.
Now, Krista has a quick question online, too. She says her son refused breathalyzer, right? Refused the breathalyzer, and DUI was dismissed. But DMV still suspended license. Can they fight that?
Yes, they probably took it for a year. But that was what I was talking about earlier, if that was a first offense. That's what I was talking about earlier, where there's less evidence if you, in fact, refuse. I will say this. You asked for one piece of advice earlier. I feel like I'm talking really fast in the room because not everybody's talking as fast as they normally.
You're talking fast because these people are so slow around me.
Is that what it is?
They're slowing down as you're getting fast at normal.
If you're older than 21, absolutely refused a portable breath test before being arrested. You don't have to do it. They should tell you don't have to do it. So that's the best piece of advice I would give people. Refuse a portable breath test while you're being investigated.
And does the DUI ever go off your record?
It stays on your record for 10 years.
You guys stop laughing. This is serious business. Memorial Day is PSA. All right.
I have to
It's
say,
about
Frosty.
being busted.
Actually, Frosty's not swaying. He's not stumbling. He's been standing straight,
Me and
except when
Carrie
he's
have a
laughing.
thing going on. So we're like,
What do you have going on?
Hey,
We're
Eric, how
having
you
a
doing, by the
serious
way?
interview with Myles L. Berman, the Top Gun DUI defense attorney. And you guys are getting like a couple of drunken kids.
Miles. You're amazing, Miles. I
Frosty? Frosty,
How do you get a DUI off your record?
We should just go. and-
Expunge it.
Expunge.
I love the word
Yes.
expunge.
Miles, I apologize.
No,
Miles,
nothing to apologize
I'm
No,
for.
it's
I'm soaking up
You like-
all this stuff.
It's the drinking show. It's Memorial Day weekend.
is great.
A big drinking weekend.
It's not my
So-
first rodeo.
100% where all the facts should be. We
Yeah.
should be knowing all of these
Exactly
things.
what she's trying to say. And give out your number. So if in the unfortunate event that you do make the mistake and you didn't listen to our show,
Call Miles.
What
Give out your
God's
accent
sake.
was that?
Miles is the guy.
In the
8,
unfortunate event.
unfortunate event that you didn't take the advice we gave.
But why are you
Then-
English? You're from Indiana.
No, you're drunk.
Where
I'm
are you?
speaking in the same. No, you hear accent. You hear accents
It's so helping.
when you're drunk. That's weird. Is that a medical disorder, Miles?
Either way, Myles L. Berman is going to fuck you up.
Oh, shh. All right,
Call Miles.
here we go. Here
Your
we
beard
go.
and your accent match now, Frank.
Myles L. Berman. Hopefully, I mean, yeah. Be safe. The whole
Right.
day shows about being
Yes.
safe.
Yes.
But if you need Miles, he is the man to call. 1-888-4 Top Gun. TopGunDUI.com. Hashtag Myles L. Berman.
I'll be
Yes.
calling you in about
888
17 minutes.
888 Top Gun.
TOPGUN. You've been saying it for 25
I
years.
have. I know. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Miles, for coming in and hanging out with us. We have to get to traffic with Lisa May. What's going on, Lisa?
Traffic report brought to you